think you all notice like the further that they go, the more kind of like shadowy things are, the less people are there. Like taverns start to space out a lot because they're not near the place either. Before getting to this place that kind of looks like a Motel 6, like one of those hotels
Yeah.
that's right next to the airport. Like the only reason that you're there is maybe to sleep for
It's
a
a
couple of
goddamn, it's a
hours.
goddamn La Quinta. The Jorix La Quinta at the airport.
And just so I know, Rory, are you taking them to the inn at Lelon, or are you going elsewhere? I'm trying to change it because now you got it in my head fair, and now I'm like,
I'm taking them to the Lululemon
Lelon.
Lelon.
Lelon. Okay.
Lelon.
Lelon. Okay.
because that's the place that looks dilapidated but kind of isn't, just so it just doesn't draw attention and stuff.
Correct. It's also the closest of those in your network that you're familiar with. Most of the other ones are a little bit harder to get to.
How close is it to the graveyard district?
Pretty close. It's just outside of it.
Okay. I think as we're walking and as like those feelings that Rory conveyed to me come through, I think he feels like similar feelings coming from Deodora, but also she hasn't yet accepted the part about things being what they are yet, in terms of certain events that have happened that are still fresh for her and that she's still trying to work through.
Now, I'm going to suggest when we arrive that as you two are invisible, I'm going to walk through the door. You make your way as silently as possible to where the rooms are, and I will negotiate with the innkeeper about us having one. The few of us that are seen, the better. And I'm the only one who currently wears a mask in this place. Well, in this group anyway.
I will do my best to be quiet. It is not like, and I look down to like the armor that I am currently wearing, which is clanky. It's like, I will, and then I'm also like carrying clanky armor, so it's just like it probably sounds like a cymbals in a marching band, a little bit. So, but I will do my best. It's not really my forte.
You wouldn't. Neither of you would happen to have a spell like, what do they call it? The thing that druids use to mask their passage when they're going from one place to another. It softens their steps.
I only have 2 spells, and neither of them are that. I don't know magic very well. Oh, I have 3 spells. Okay, I lied. I forgot I have guidance.
Stani, I posted like the Pinterest idea, but they're in like very ornamental like tassels and things of the veil, like very dressed up, and they're have even jewelry on their mane and not mane, sorry, their tail, everything. Like they're just like, how do I be quiet? Because I am here for social. Like
Yeah.
I came here dressed to represent, and they're slowly tucking everything in. What spell are you looking for? Most of mine deal with life and death, and I could help with some things, but typically I'm not one to shy away from noise. And they say that as they're slowly picking up their hooves and just...
Oh, yeah. Everyone has their specialties, I suppose.
Yes.
We'll see what we can do once we're at this place. And when I get there, I try to do a few things. I don't know which of these things you would prefer me do.
Okay. What if I set the scene and maybe that will help inform you on which one you would like to do?
Okay.
We're back and forth. So again, you approach the kind of dilapidated looking shack for all intents and purposes, kind of shoved in between two townhouses, it looks like. And you can see that familiar signage of the lion kind of eating a fish. Dimly lit. Like, even those of you with like really good dark vision and stuff find yourself squinting slightly because the lighting is just so out there. It's seeming like, hey, we'll have a light on, but it's not going to be the best because, again, there are people in here that wish to not be known, and so we want to make sure like that's you're able to see that there are people here, but not necessarily specifics about them. The actual like entrance of this building for you, Rory, pretty quiet. There's a main kind of hall, which is seemingly looks like it's the size of the shack itself from the outside. It's much larger on the inside. Off to your left seems to be some kind of lounge. There's some drinks. There's like a very small bar there where you see every now and then it looks like a little kenku, little raven kind of pops up onto the banister or oh my god, what's the word? The word disappeared. The counter. That's what it was. The counter. Not banister. That's stairs. The counter. And seemingly every now and then is like putting some parchment in these kind of holes that are in the wall before you see the message disappear. They're wearing a little bow tie. They've got a little vest on as they're kind of hopping around. That's to your left. To the right, you can see is what appears to be some kind of entryway. It looks almost like the style of like those old-fashioned banks. You can see that there are different tellers depending upon some of the jobs that are coming in, if someone wants a room, etc. Few people are in here, but it's not very populated. I would say maybe with just you in here, there was maybe 2 or 3 other people that are not workers of this establishment already.
I go to find a person who, like, I'm still looking around.
Sure.
After kind of getting everybody in the door, just, I suppose for now, try to pick a place where you'd be comfortable being still for a few moments while I have a look around. And I try to find a person who looks like they would be doing bookings or reservations or anything like that in here.
Okay. So you have your choice, essentially. You can either head over to the small raven kenku, who's like every now and then is jotting stuff down in the books, but is also bartending. They are one that wears many hats, you can kind of tell, but it allows for them to kind of keep an eye on who is coming in and out of the place, so to speak, and again, keeping privacy for those that are staying. Or you can head over to one of the tellers, but those are typically more so for job stuff. But if you were to take a room out, that would be another place you could go. So you have your 2 choices.
Okay, does the raven look particularly busy at the moment?
He's just hopping around every now and then, kind of jotting things. Is humming ever so slightly, and you can hear as you enter the room, it's very slight. It seems like it's a kind of jazz-esque kind of music that's playing.
Very speakeasy vibe.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
So
yes.
I head over toward the counter area that the raven occupies for the most part.
Okay. And kind of, you see him at this point is Just
And like, because we're in a room with shadows, I'm pretty sure no one's going to mind if I drop it's not going to be easily visible.
No.
If I let go of the hold of the invisibility spell on myself.
Correct.
So it looks like I'm just stepping out of like the shadows, and you just have a hood, you have the mask on, the like kind of like scarf, and all of these like flowing clothes.
And he doesn't seem surprised at all. He seems to have like almost noted when you walked through the door, but just didn't say anything until you announced yourself, so to speak. So, he does not seem surprised at all. Whatsoever. Let's see. And he'll kind of look over in your direction and...
Can I trouble you for a room for 3?
Oh, yeah. What is your name and how can I help you today? As he kind of, you see him still kind of milling about the the bar, as he's moving messages around and still kind of allocating a couple things, cleaning a glass. Seems to still be trying to. You would pick this up more so putting the airs of performance on, like this is a nonchalant conversation between a bartender and someone who just wants to pick up a drink for the night and maybe share their sorrows or joys, and that's it. But his kind of eyes lock on yours for a second, and you get a better look. This raven is about and he is lily hopping around. He's about 2 feet tall, and wearing a little vest, little tie, bright green eyes. Friendly. And you see that he's got a jagged kind of scar that goes down one eye. And that eye you can see is like a bright kind of milky white. Seems to have can clearly still see you, but just not as well as he used to. You would know, you've seen this figure around this space before, that this is Benji. Benji the bartender. It's been a while since you've popped in. I was wondered if you were a ghost or what.
Well, at least for a little while, I need to be one. So I couldn't have thought of anybody's care to be in more so than yours.
It's an honor as always to help you out, my boy. So, and he kind of peeks around real quick. So what kind of mess are we getting into today?
Nothing today. I would simply like the gift of being able to find rest for myself and my companions.
And he kind of looks at you over real quick and then eyes around. Well, just so happened we got a couple vacancies we can maybe put down. Mr.
Let me see. What are we going by today? I think like Benji would be used to these shenanigans.
Oh yeah,
now.
1000%. He's just looking at you because normally when you first started, he would come up with the names. Now he's like, I'm too tired. You're gonna come up with the name of what your alias is gonna be because I don't have the brain power to keep track of who you are right now. So
you may call me Ruben.
Ruben. Interesting. You'll have to tell me where you thought of that one up. But all right, Mr. Ruben. And how many keys would you be needing tonight?
I can't imagine that we'll need more than one, but there are going to be 3 of us if that's not an issue.
No issue.
How many keys would you recommend for that?
I would say the one. We can whoopsies. And she like spills some ink real quick. It looks like one of our suites opened up for you, Mr. Ruben. So I think we can make this work perfectly, if I'm being absolutely honest with you.
That's fantastic. And you see me very stealthily. Like, if you need me to roll for this, I'll absolutely do it. But just for flavor, stealthily using mending to fix the ink spillage.
Oh, that won't be necessary as he it cleans up and he immediately spills the bottle right over again. I appreciate your all this as he just gestures at you, but trust all this expertise that you'll be in good care tonight, Mr. Rubin, and with your good company, of course. Send my regards to your boss. Yeah, he's still in touch?
Now, here's the thing. My boss, who? And would that be the Orenthal or would that be at the college?
I'll leave that up to you to interpret. He's aware of both. So, but I'll leave that up to you to interpret.
Well, surprisingly, I'm hoping to see him in a couple of days from now.
Oh, well, give him my best and let him know he still owes me 20 gold. None of that. Bad at cards, man. Skipped out the last time.
Only 20. I am surprised you let him get off so easy.
Well, it was more, but then he did a couple jobs. So he took it off the tab, but he's still short 20 gold. And I could really use that with all the stuff that's happening in the city. We got the tournament happening in a couple of weeks. Hey, there's gonna be plenty of work to do if you're looking for some jobs. Or your clientele. Kind of gives you a wink.
Jobs like what kind of jobs, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, you know of all the intrigue, of course. Listen, you got all the kind of looks around. You got all the nobility going up to the Colosseum, yeah. Now listen, even the servants are gonna be going to a lot of these places, so you could do some ransacking. Perhaps. Listen, there's a lot of people that are very upset with what's going on right now with the food shortages, and then you got the stuff happening in the harbor. So, listen, some people gotta take for themselves a little bit. So, that's gonna be the night to move. It's gonna be that night.
Fair enough. I've heard some rumors in the town, and the first thing I thought was, now who the hell would have a tournament for 5,000 gold in a place like this? But here we are.
Listen, I'm imagining, and it's kind of brilliant, right? If they do it right, listen, they're gonna have that jackpot for the winners of whoever's gonna win the damn tournament, right? But then they got all this money coming in from everybody that's gonna be betting on these people, right? Plenty of pockets are gonna be full or wanting. I guarantee you our services are also gonna be picked up with the amount of people that are gonna be wanting to get out of this town. Want to skip out on that coin?
Hopefully you're not one of them. I might need to come back here for yet another nap.
Oh, listen, you know me. I haven't delved into anything as... Well, it's been a while. He's kind of leaning over. At this point, too, he's kind of poured you a small glass for you and your buddies, by the way. If you want. If you don't, no worries about it. But yeah, there's gonna be plenty of work if you want it. But just let me know if you are Mr. Rubin gonna be stopping in again and perhaps needing accommodations here or elsewhere.
I will. And I take the drink that
it's like a
he's
thimble. It's
gives
like
him.
a
It's like
thimble
a
size.
cheers like this.
Yeah. To your health, man. And he takes a swig.
I also take a shot because a drunk robot, very unlikely.
Yeah. And it's hard like a bourbon. It is a very dry that just you feel it in your throat. And even though you are an automaton of stone, you can feel it warming the stone of your system.
Mm-hmm.
Nicely done. You held it down this time. I'm proud of you.
Practice.
Gets every time. Well, Mr. Rubin, as he subtly hands over your keys, I won't keep you because I know you're a very, very busy man of, well, very busy means. You have a good night and don't forget to tip your barkeep. And if you need anything, I wasn't ever here. All right? Cheers.
If I heard what as I leave.
Exactly. Yep. And he goes right back to cleaning glasses and putting stuff away.
There is a moment that Rory is just kind of like, he has to ponder on the way back to the group, who he summarily collects. Everyone, I think we will be just fine. And releases the invisibility magic from the group. It just looks like, you know, again, they're surrounded by like a fairly low lit room, so it doesn't draw like a lot of attention. They're just present in places, and people weren't really paying attention like that, well, for the most part.
Also, there's only like 3 people in here.
Yeah, it really
And
wasn't
it's
that
just
many.
kind of like, you know, I feel like at some point, when it's their turn again, I should ask what exactly it is that they've been up to. I did not know that they had that deep of a connection with the people here. Fascinating. Anyway, we have a room and a rest and the guarantee of privacy, and also some pretty interesting information for later.
We couldn't hear that conversation, right? Where we were okay, just making sure.
It was like when Rory went into that room, it was like all of the sound kind of disappeared, minus the kind of speakeasy jazz that was playing. They were talking so quietly, as well as, and I think Rory, you picked up on this a second later, they were speaking in Thieves' Cant. So even if you had heard it, you may not have understood it. So to you, it would have sounded like normal conversation of like, great day we're having. Did you catch the ball game? Like very like just chill, common conversation. How's the job? How's the wife? But interwoven in all of that is all this Thieves' Cant that was popping off between the two of them.
Yay, Thieves' Camp. Do that more in your games.
Oh, I think someone who, I guess, deals in some ways in secrets. I can't imagine somebody like that not being connected to the people. I feel like when you get into, I mean, this place was set up to protect others, right? To harbor them.
To protect people in general, yes. But also, remember when I built this fort, scouting, a little bit of recon, and well, let's say that the people who frequent this place are people of similar talent, for better or for worse.
I think maybe in your friend's case, it might be for the better.
And I think in our current case, it definitely is.
Let's go to the room.
All right. You head up to the room. And as you open the door, it's not the nicest of taverns you've ever stayed in, but it has everything that you need in order to relax for the evening. There are several beds. this kind of suite, I say more so in parentheses, as it is one side of the room is kind of split up with these large kind of folded curtains that go around the beds, offering up privacy. There is a dining table. There is what appears to be a chimney, like a hearth, that as soon as you walk in, the fire kind of turns on, so to speak. There's a kitchenette area as well as a bathroom. Pretty large, I would say. In comparison to where you were staying before, it's probably double the size of Deodora, Blackstone, your room at the Crooked Chimney, plus the bathroom. So, fair amount of room. And you do see that there are accommodations set up for our lovely centaur.
I was about to ask that. I was about to ask, like, okay, what about our horse boo? Like,
there are accommodations for Astani, for you to be comfortable. There's several couches in this kind of little lounge area right by the fireplace, hearth, chimney, whatever you want to call it. There is a little bit of light music that's playing in the background. Again, more so it seems like to offer the safety of sound versus the silence. This is a place that seems very attuned to, in that silence, sometimes the anxieties of what might be out there might come at you in your sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not speaking from experience at all. But
trauma dump. Oh my god.
but seems to be giving you that air of comfort. But it has the necessities. Like I said, the furniture, some of it looks like it's been, a little bit taped together in random places. There's definitely not like a signature or a major theme for the place. It's just, hey, this is a room to give you a space to rest in.
Now, I know that he will probably complain, but, and I just like walk around the room and just like pick like a handful of things. I'm just like a little mend here and a little mend there.
Oh, this is gonna piss him off. He likes his shiny broken things.
Does Rory say that out loud?
Yes, that is a thing. That is not an inside voice thing. That is an out loud thing, but in like a low kind of more to himself, but not quiet tone.
Yeah. Now, are we talking about? We're talking about Corbin?
No.
We're talking about
Benji.
Benji. I almost called him Reggie. Okay. I mean, listen, you can't blame me for asking, because I feel like Corbin wouldn't like it either.
It's true. No, that's valid.
Corbin would have been like,
bitch.
Are we here on a renovation project? Are we working?
Is this bar rescue? Like, what's happening?
But I think like just not everything, but the things that look the most in disrepair, just kind of like just like a sprinkle of mending here and a sprinkle of mending there, because it's kind of like there's a memory that Rory recalls, where Blackstone just doing their functions was just like, hey, I can fix the light situation that you have going on here, and has like a whole bunch of like that conversation was like
don't
a very
touch
pointed
the
one of being like,
shinies.
no, don't do that.
That's my shinies. You don't need to touch them. All right, they're my treasure trove. Okay. Some people like gold. Some people like fine clothing. I like my shiny broken things. Okay.
And I think they worked out an agreement where it's kind of like you get 2, maybe 3 things per room because I like you, but anything after that, I'm cutting your arms off.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Yep. I think he gives you a pass for 3 items every visit, and that's it. He'll take stock too. Like, he's that type of like, this chair is still wobbly. What 3 items did he fix while he was here?
The most innocuous shit. Like,
Yep.
You're not even gonna notice it got fixed because you didn't even know it was broke to begin with.
Exactly.
I think as Rory's doing this, Deodora's I'm getting settled to the room, putting the shift weave armor in. Is there there's like a wardrobe or something?
There's a chest at the foot of the bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she puts it in there, but she also takes off like the armor that she's wearing currently and puts it in there as well, and kind of just contemplates both of them.
Sure. Stoney,
like
what
not sure what to do.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Stoney, what are you up to?
They are getting comfortable, and I think they're not used to the new surroundings. So they're just I imagine them more of like kind of like aristocrat, like slash like someone who's been at the temple for too long. So they're kind of like, yes, this is field work. We like, what is it like? We are in the field. We're doing this. We're in mission. How do I act? And trying to get used to everything. Because and then they're thinking of they're just slowly taking this stuff out of their bags, and emptying them of like things that are not useful, and possibly like, what is it, allowing Sakali to be free and just hold on.
Sakali immediately has zoomies and is
best behavior. No.
Immediately in training.
Sparky immediately. Oh, zoomies? What?
You just see the two barreling around.
In order to help contain the zoomies, I take dancing light. I cast dancing lights in the form like of a small swirl that then chase just continue. Like it's like a iridescent multicolored swirl that just runs around in a particular spot in the room.
I think at that moment you hear Sakali burp very like at that moment I'm just like and they're all treat wrappers, like they're all like stuff that you would stockpile to save, and like Sakali may have found it.
Oh, that means less dinner for you then?
It seems that someone likes to spoil their children. I believe that's how some people refer to their animal companions.
Guilty. I tend to have a belief or feeling, or I guess impulse. I don't know. Some people think of it as a flaw or I don't know. If one is giving you their short span of life and cannot choose anything, I'd say this is just... Yes, I like to spoil them.
I think Deodora kind of gives Rory a side eye. It's like, now, I know you're not talking. We've all seen the fancy penguin with his top hat. We've actively participated in fashion shows for your familiar.
You were not in a fashion show for
shows.
my familiar. You were in a fashion show with Blackstone's familiar. And that is why Corbin is currently in the familiar dimension. I do not have patience for these things.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit.
This is like
that was the puzzle piece.
Child.
That was the puzzle piece that's been missing for me. I'm like, but why? Like, oh, there we go. Sorry.
Oh, well,
wow.
I will ask you that question later.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, to be clear, do not have the patience for any of this nonsense and shenanigans. And that is why Corbin is over there. Because Corbin gets about 2 words of sass out, and Rory's just like, wait, I do not have to deal with this.
Nope.
You are a magical construct. Oop.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, this is so. Oh no, that makes sense now.
Corbin's about to cuss Blackstone out when Blackstone comes back, because don't you ever leave me in the care of Rory again.
I think not only is Corbin's gonna curse Blackstone, and Blackstone's gonna curse Rory out.
Yeah.
But I think when Astani talks about wanting to spoil Sokali because of the short lifespan, I think Diodora nods in agreement. Like, yeah, I mean, we choose them to be our companions. And yes, there should be maybe a level of discipline, but ultimately, if their lives aren't as long as ours and they're choosing to, I think we choose them as much as they choose us. So
Yes.
why wouldn't you give them what they want within reason? I don't let Sparky have everything, but
No, I see it as like when my mother used to not read the ends of books because maybe it might hurt me, and I would desperately want to know. I hope Sokali knows I don't give them everything because I just want the best for them. Hopefully. If not, it's all right.
this conversation also just reminds Diodora of that moment where she almost lost Sparky. And she kind of just, like, snaps her fingers, makes him come over, and just gives him all the rubs and the ear scritches. Just thinking about that.
I suppose you do have a point. If we're going to only have an indefinite amount of time, because who knows, really? To love each other, we might as well be luxurious about it. Or at least that's something that an author said once. Someone far wiser than me, I imagine.
Straight tears welling up in Asani's eyes. Just surprising. I have they at like they start like repeating what like a sunset or sunrise ceremony is, and like pulling like people through to the veil, and just sometimes I wonder if others know that value. And look at that, wow, there's written language, and they're just like pulling like one of their tassels to just dab at their eyes. Just sorry, I tend to cry a lot.
Why would you apologize? Why would you apologize for that?
Agreed, you are experiencing emotions. That is normal, as I understand it.
It concerns everyone else, I've found. They're just... you'd think that the days in the temple would temper it and stopper it, or maybe you have more of a willpower, but I find it makes you more sensitive to all of it.
I wouldn't trust somebody who worked at a temple and didn't feel strongly, because ultimately you are servants of the people, and if you can't show compassion for the people, then why are you in that position to begin with?
Well said. Well said. I question that as well. But in those times of heightened emotions, they seek to you as the one to be the bearer of bad news, or the one holding it together, so they are free to crumble and have something to lean on. And when I show that emotion, they are surprised. So apologies come first, but I agree. If I were to say goodbye to a loved one, I would want the ones in care of them to feel as much as I did. Well, I must, I have to write that down. And they will, from their like book, they'll have like a little notebook, and they literally quickly like write, like just in writing. You'll see even like when they were waiting for you two to come for the meeting, they had written like something beforehand, and they're just putting a line under it and then writing the quote or the saying that Rory said before putting it away, and just leaning back to watch Sakali and Sparky.
And you see the two of them have very quickly become fast friends. At this moment, after the zoomies have kind of puttered out, you can see that Sparky has kind of laid on the ground in front of the hearth. And so Kali has, after like almost looking at Sparky in the eye to ask for permission, climbs up Sparky's shoulder and settles in between Sparky's shoulder blades. Just making a little like curling himself up almost like a cat would, of just like flopping and just kind of turning himself in. You can see where some of Sparky's just Sparky himself, where he hasn't fully grown into himself just yet. Some of the skin is kind of bulging around, giving him a nice little like warm little bed for him to just curl up and be happy with. And it's not long before you hear them both snoring very lately.
Would you mind if I trained Sakali?
I apologize. I thought there was more to the sentence. Are you sure? Because the word is try to.
I think I can be pretty effective.
If it is of any consequence, Deodora's suggestions in training have also made me far more proficient with hunting and daggers, so there is that.
Well, please, feel free. And if they prove to be too much of it, I'm happy to learn anything new.
I don't think there'll be a problem. Again, I've dealt with kids that were a little more rambunctious than that and managed to put them in line. Same with some grown men. So, I think a little fox will be no problem.
They do a little like, I cannot wait to see this. Finally, I can take Sakali to places and
it's gonna be a lot. Like, gonna wake up tomorrow morning. They're gonna they're like 4 a.m. training, where Deodora's like, Sakali, sit. Like, just like really like just like.
I feel like even if it was a day trip out, Asani would be the type to still pack like a silk eye mask, and like fully like everything wrapped and just peering back like, oh well. I'm going to keep sleeping, but keep going.
And I think the conversation slowly ebbs, unless there's anything else you all would like to say. And you head to sleep. And for the most part, it's a restful evening. It's a new place, so I think a few of you are adjusting to that for some of you. Some of you are still probably on high alert. There's not a need for being on watch. Especially, you know this, Rory. This is a very secure place. And because they have music playing in each of the rooms, it also somewhat acts as a warning system should anything happen. But Astani, where do you go when you dream?
I feel like it starts in a long field, and then it like goes into this bustling street vendors and the smell of like things frying and like voices and faces that don't really show, but like just passing by, just the feeling of like home. And that as soon as that stillness comes in, like those who can fall asleep to the sound of the city, right? And I think they're in like thigh deep in water, in what they imagine floating in that where the veil goes through, where they feel the most at, and I believe they they feel like they would be a lucid dreamer. So when they notice that stillness, they're like, oh, I can go where I want to, and they would go to that place where they feel closest to the veil, as if they like that spell. If they're looking at the door, it's as if they're like the door is a little bit open and they're looking through it, and there's just water.
Sure.
So they're glancing at this tether to the veil, their thoughts of it, their hope for it, and like this large door, and seeing it firm and strong, but they're inspecting it as the events of the last day have given them like an ounce of doubt. And they're thinking to their friend of years, and maybe like a moment comes in where like their voice speaks for a second. And then instantly their doubt and their like concerns or reasons why they are leaving the temple district, not against the lady, but like against this. And as soon as they hear it, they shut it down, and they're like, no, the veil remains strong.
I think you repeat that to yourself a couple times. The veil remains strong. The veil remains strong. But oftentimes, what happens when we dream, again, and as you mentioned too, the events of the day, and indeed you've had an incredibly long day, from waking up this morning and getting ready to do your normal sunrise to being chosen by the veil for this unique task, to everything in between. What comes to mind as your mind lingers wandering is you find yourself amongst a sea of stars. You know this to be the veil itself. A different perspective, the side of when you have or in that intermediary area, for you are a constellation upon yourself, guiding whatever souls to where they need to go next, whatever the beyond is. And in this moment, you can see, kind of looking up, the constellations as well of those at the temple as they move around you. It looks almost like these two new comets that have come in. One of kind of ink and gold with hints of, you get like the image of laughter for a second, but also sorrow of that light. And then another which is more divisive because it's two combined into one. A red, not like an angry red, more of like the red of a sunrise, and a purple, a violet. And as these two kind of slowly come in, they also enter into your constellation, your solar system of sorts, as they start moving around you. And ever so present, what's keeping your constellation afloat is this thread that ties you to the main line, the way line itself, leading back to the veil. And as you see all of this, you feel for a moment, almost on your shoulders where your veil is present, familiar hands leaning forward, giving a very light pressure. You've got this, my star. And that's where we're going to end today's episode. Yay! Okay, y'all. Incredible job, y'all. Great job. There were some shenanigans to be had today, for sure. But thank you so much. I have been your storyteller, D&D Jordan Leashy, they pronouns. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to my incredible Cass. And please, Cass, if you have any announcements you would like to make as well, now's the time to do it. I'm going to popcorn it over to Sin.
And of course, we had the chat. So, hi, greetings and salutations. Again, your resident sunflower person who has been Rory today and who could be Blackstone at any point. Doing the player, producer, narrative writer things here in Tabletop Space. You can also find me with the Tech Talk crew on the Major Linux channel at 8 p.m. where I am ranting about either the tech industry or the gaming industry or the streaming and content creator space because, child, they're gonna feed me material forever. Here on Saturdays, hanging out with this lovely group of people. And on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, are airing episodes of Gifts of Fear, Arcane Core Gifts of Fear, with other Cider Studios. This past week was episode 1 officially. There was prologue before that, and I believe both of those episodes are on YouTube. So if you are here for the vibes appropriate for October of things being a little bit scary, a little bit creepy, and maybe just a little bit of intrigue and content warning spiders, you know what? Go ahead, get into it. I am also joined by the person I'm about to pass the baton to on that particular show, Maz.
Yay. Also, if you're a fan of Magnus Archives, it's really good. 4 people already saw the story and was like, I'm a fan. And I'm like, then you should go check this out.
On Tuesdays.
Exactly. It's so good. And it's one of my favorite characters this year. And I already missed them. The awesome thing is that you can see all my stuff and things I'm on. I'm pretty packed for October. So if you follow my socials anywhere at It's Mozzarella or Mozzarella on YouTube or Blue Sky, I believe, you can see it all. Starcrawl is finishing up the Between, I believe it was today, and then the One Ring will be starting up in 2 weeks with an awesome cast. We have Vason, sponsored by Free League, and we're going to try and put that out by November, which is really cool. And if you're thinking Vason and Nordic folklore and horror, maybe add a vampire. Maybe some things are out there. Kind of story that they are playing in. And tomorrow I'll be on Forgotten Adventures before we go on break for a week while I travel, while everyone travels for different cons and things. I can't remember what the episode was. More roleplay. It's definitely not going to be awkward that my group now suspects who. Anyway, things are happening. There's drama, and we love that. We love a good roleplay session. And then on Tuesday I'll be on Catchy Cantrip, which will be amazing to get back to and finish this arc. Yeah, I hope to stream too, to get a couple streams in before I travel, but I've been using a lot of time to rest, so follow the socials. See my stuff over there. And over to you, Fair.
Hi everyone, I'm Farron, or Fair. I have been Deodora Shadesun, your Battle Master Fighter. You can follow me on socials at Fairbear, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, and here on Twitch, where I do stream. You can also see me on Philly by Night, The Monsters Within, which is a Vampire the Masquerade campaign that airs Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain over on Dibbles and Dice. You could also, will be seeing me sometime this month. I think within the next, like at the end of the month, we will start dropping episodes of Tales of the Valiant, Passages Through Lost Places. That will be airing on Summon Stories on YouTube. So if you watched the miniseries last year, we have a full-blown series now. And we've been pre-recording episodes, so you'll be able to check them out. I want to say, let me see.
I think you're correct.
It'll be at the end of this month.
Yeah.
It'll be, well, I don't want to say the date just yet, just in case it changes. Like I was given a date, but in case that changes, it will be at the end of the month around Halloween time.
Ooh,
so
incredible.
Yeah, follow me on Blue Sky. That's why you know what I'm doing
Yeah, and go follow Mott's and Fair's YouTubes as well, because they've got videos coming out.
Yeah, follow the socials that Jordan manages for me, TikTok and YouTube. My YouTube is Fairbear Games.
There you go.
And TikTok is just Fairbear.
Yeah.
But go follow those. Jordan does does everything for those. So go like Jordan's work.
And yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out today. Announcement for us, because unfortunately, as you just heard, we're going to be down in Mott's for a couple of weeks as they are traveling and doing a bunch of life things, which, listen, we get it here. So for the next 3 weeks, we're going to finally do the interludes that we're going to start the season. Next week will be focused on, I believe, you, Blackstone, if I'm correct with the calendar stuff. And then the following week will be Fair. And then we're going to have a duo episode between Blackstone and Deodora. And this will be stuff that was happening just before season 4 started up. So you will not want to miss it. It's going to be a grand time. That way, too, we're not progressing things without the lovely Motts as well. Because as I just messaged them on Discord, there's more to the stream. But I had to cut because we've got some people running off to other engagements. So thank you all so much for hanging out today. We are going to head over to our really good friend and also cast member of AMP as well. Robo is live doing some games for charity, so we're going to head over there. And y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Have an incredible rest of your day, weekend, week, and take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.